This is Tacloban. It is the capital of the province of Leyte in the Philippines, an archipelago of more than 7,000 islands. Surrounded by the beautiful landscape of coconut plantations, Tacloban is home to rich agricultural land, the longest bridge in the Philippines, and most importantly, the thriving local Taclobanons. But that's not all. With climate change at our doorstep, a statistic of 20 typhoons per year hitting Tacloban is alarming, and it only takes one to become a super typhoon.
Breaking news out of the region this hour is one of the strongest
going into the beginning of Monday with 100-mile-per-hour winds. We'll keep you updated.
It killed over 1,000 people and displaced millions more.
When a storm surge hits, agriculture is the first sector to fall, ultimately creating a domino effect of problems, impacting not only the people, but their livelihoods too. Locals who depend on agriculture as their sole source of living are left with nothing but destroyed farmlands. A farmer's ownership of their land is sacrificed for resettlement projects, hence internally displaced people result in displacing farmers. With schools destroyed, agriculture exploits the highest number of child labour. These are just some of the problems post-disaster. But after reading numerous documents and articles, the problems don't stop here. So what else is happening in agriculture? The Philippines is the largest importer of rice, knocking China off the charts. This goes to show that their local rice systems are not efficient enough, making locally harvested processed rice too expensive. Rice is not the only underdeveloped industry, with the coconut production, also known as the sleeping giant, losing 3.3 billion of profit per year, which could arguably be the forefront of agriculture in the Philippines. On top of that, a declining interest from the youth and farmers is evident, causing over 800,000 people to leave the industry in 2017 alone. Lastly, there's just too much land for the number of active farmers in Tacloban. So, how can we turn these problems into opportunities?
I grew up on the land, on a small farm in northeast Iowa.
According to Dr. Norman Borlaug, the impossible becomes possible. Known as the father of the Green Revolution, Borlaug was an agronomist who saved 1 billion people from starvation through his work in agriculture. Agronomy is the science of field crop production and soil management. But why is this relevant? Because by pushing agronomy in the context of a disaster-prone city such as Tacloban, it could improve the city's resilience and economy in the face of a natural disaster. Let's take a detour and head to the northern part of the Philippines, Luzon. This is Cagayan Valley, the leading province of agricultural production in the country. It is the largest producer of corn and the second largest in producing rice in the Philippines. With extensive road networks, cargo ships, 4 domestic airports, irrigation systems, and working hand in hand with the local government so farmers are enhanced and institutionalized, Cagayan Valley's production has never been more fruitful. Phil Rice is a government corporate entity that started adapting the clustering approach in 2017 through its Rice Biz program in order to reach out to more farmers and educate them about improved rice production technologies. The approach is called clustering as it organizes farmers into clusters or groups where they can participate in business planning and consolidate their products effectively for marketing. The way this would work is the following. Our projects would function in a symbiotic way, with both a long-term and short-term response. After a disaster hits, the aim is to build back better by introducing permanent housing for IDPs and displaced farmers. A new water system would provide clean water and irrigate the farmland, which would be Andy's areas of interest. Beatrice will aim to empower women who have gone through trauma by rehabilitating them within society through agriculture. The farming crops that would be produced by them and other farmers would then be harvested, dried off, and stored in a seed bank, which Minh will be designing. Finally, these crops and other goods are sold in a marketplace proposed by Gilian. This would allow for the implementation of agritourism, which would improve the local income in the area. For the strategy to work, we needed the right site. After testing out a few areas, the site we chose spans to a valley on the west and has a low susceptibility to natural hazards. It has access to the main road that leads to Tacloban North and to the east towards the San Juanico Bridge, which is important for business imports and exports. The site is surrounded by resettlement housing, existing urban homes, schools, and other public spaces, meaning there is a diversity of income. This also means that it could potentially open itself to ecotourism, creating additional income for the locals living there. But why a strip? The reason behind this is that we believe that we can condense all that is needed for effective farming by working with a single strip of the existing topography and using the changes in the land to our advantage. Just like in Cagayan Valley, the plan is to create a small water impoundment to act as a water reservoir, storing storm, ground, and rainwater. It can also act as a tourist attraction. Water stations will be scattered in different locations across the site to distribute and provide clean water for personal use and irrigation. By using the existing topography, rice terraces will be created on the hillside as it reduces soil erosion and landslides. Dwarf and hybrid coconut and banana trees will be planted alongside bamboo, acting as a natural protection during typhoons and reducing landslides, but equally usable as a construction material. The intercropping method is the most efficient, as different crops grow symbiotically, such as rice and shrimps, banana and cocoa. The smaller reservoirs help with the distribution of the water for irrigation. New trails and roads will be constructed in order to link all of our projects together, but also linking the strategy to the rest of Tacloban. Inspired by the cluster farm approach, every element needed for effective farming can be condensed into this one strip, from production to exportation. So imagine all the other possibilities if this strip was multiplied across the area.